please stand for the same Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Maureen, do we have anyone signed up for comments? Okay. Call for a motion to accept the consensus agenda items as submitted.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Let's move in second. Anything to discuss or separate? If not, then all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed or abstaining? Motion carries. Okay, personnel items. Call for motion to accept the personnel report as submitted.
So moved.
Second.
All right, I'll separate items 8, 9, 10, 15, 18, and 20. Any other items to separate or discuss? All right, I'll call for a motion then to accept items 1 through 7, 11 through 14, 16, 17, and 21 through 48. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed or abstaining? Those carry. All right, Mr. Stack, it's all you.
It's my pleasure to be here in front of the Board of Education and. Okay, it's my honor to be here in front of the Board of Education this evening, to ask for your support and, the hiring of some individuals that are going to be helping us, for the foreseeable future in our school district as teachers. I think we've done a really nice job this year putting together a great collage of people that are going to be beneficial for our school community, our students. And the first individual is Jennifer Valeri. Jennifer, come on up. So it's my honor to introduce to the board Jennifer Valeri. She's going to be helping us out with her literacy birth through 12 certificate. She's coming to us most recently from Orchard Park School District, and prior to that, St. Amelia's in Tonawanda. And she has 13 years in educational instruction and 7 years serving as a literacy specialist in that capacity. She's been married 32 years, and she's mom to 3 adult children, boys, all boys. We ask that you support her appointment this evening.
All those in favor of accepting the appointment of Jennifer to probation 1.0 FTE literacy specialist, please say aye. Aye. Abstaining? Motion carries. Congratulations. Welcome.
Next individual that I'd like to introduce to the board is Heidi Lager. Heidi, come on up. Heidi is joining us from St. Peter's Lewiston School. She is a resident of Youngstown, and she has 3 children that attend Lewiston Porter Central Schools. Her husband is a professor at Niagara University, and she has her education and bachelor's in biology from Calvin University in Michigan, her master's in library science from Indiana University, Bloomington. She has 11 years of teaching experience in both public and private schools, and she has spent 5 years of children's thematic library at both Ransomville and Youngstown libraries, and did a magnificent job there as well as St. Peter. So we ask the board support her appointment.
All those in favor of appointing Heidi to a probationary 1.0 library media specialist, please say aye. Aye. Opposed or abstaining? Motion carries. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Isaiah. Isaiah, can you do what we rehearsed earlier? Can you say? Thanks. Thank you. Isaiah Rosado. It's a privilege to introduce you to the school board. Isaiah has helped us in the past, so somewhat of a familiar face. He's helped us in the past as a building-based substitute at our middle school, and is a graduate of Niagara University in 2022 with a bachelor's in math education 5 to 12. He's attending classes to get his master's degree. Did his student teaching here as a graduate of Niagara Falls High School, and has worked really hard for us the past year or so as a building-based sub. So we're happy to ask the board to support an appointment to a math position here at our middle school.
All those in favor of accepting Isaiah as a 1.0 FTE teacher at Edwardtown, please say aye. Aye. Abstaining? Motion carries. Congratulations.
Thank you. Leah, come on up. My honor to introduce to the board Leah Fingerlo, and Leah is, we're asking the board to support her appointment to a split literacy position between Eric Road and West Street this year. She is a graduate of Holy Angels Academy and has received her bachelor's and bachelor's degree from Niagara University. Her hobbies include exercising and spending time with her family, chasing after a 2-year-old son. That's probably a workout on its own, I can imagine. And you know, I asked her, well, why do you want to work in Niagara Wheatfield? And I liked her answer. She said it's just it's the district's goal to cultivate safe and healthy environment for our students, and it's really one of her core beliefs. So we ask that the board support her appointment to the position.
All those in favor of accepting Leah as a 1-year grant funded school literacy specialist, please say aye. Aye. Okay, motion carries. Congratulations.
Lexi. Thank you. Okay, this is Alexandria Leffler, and Alexandria is a proud Niagara Wheatfield alum. She is a person that's been working with us now for the better part of 2 years after student teaching with Kristen Casero at West Street Elementary. She holds a bachelor's degree in childhood education from Niagara University, as well as a dual literacy certification. She's also spent 6 years as a dance instructor at Adele School of Dance right here in the town of Niagara. And as I stated, she has recently completed a long-term substitute at West Street this past school year. And also now we're asking for the board to support her appointment as a probationary kindergarten teacher at Eric Rowe.
All those in favor of accepting Alexandria as a 1.0 FTE probationary teacher at Eric Rowe, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, abstaining? Congratulations.
Yara. My honor to introduce to the board Tiara Borsalari. And Tiara is a graduate of Niagara Wheatfield as well, and graduated from Niagara University in May with a bachelor's in arts, grades 1 to 6 in special education. She student taught at Eric Road, particularly first grade, I believe. Is that right? And also has worked at North Tonawanda in grade 6. She held the long-term sub position at North Tonawanda Intermediate just this past school year to close out the school, the end of the school year, I should say. And she's very excited to see her alma mater grow, and she hopes she could be part of something great. So we ask that the board support Tiara's appointment.
All those in favor of accepting Tiara for our 1.0 long-term substitute elementary teacher at West Street, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, abstaining? Congratulations.
Thank you.
Jamie, come on up, Jamie. This is Jamie Ozakowski, and Jamie is joining us to continue her venture with Niagara Wheatfield, also a Niagara Wheatfield graduate, and she's married her high school sweetheart, correct? And went to NCCC and Buffalo State here. She has 2 children, and we asked that the board support her appointment consultant teacher at Colonial Village. She also plays an instrument, fun fact.
All those in favor of accepting Jamie as consultant teacher for Niagara Wheatfield School District, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, abstaining? Congratulations, welcome to the family. Moving on to we have some informational fundraisers that are there. We can check those over. Ex-official student members report. I know school year has not begun yet, but
Well, it is still summer, but fall sports have begun, and students are pretty excited to come back to school this fall for the 2024 school year.
are you?
I am.
Excellent.
I'm very excited.
Very good. All right, superintendent's report.
Great, thank you. Actually, one of my first items, Ben, is actually to you. Want to extend the offer for you to join the CDEP team as the student rep. Okay, so give that a little bit of thought. We meet once a month from 4 to 5:30, and it's always on board meeting nights. Okay, so if you're interested, if you could just send myself or Jan Ball an email. She probably, if not recently, probably sent you an email. Okay, so if you're interested. Tom, hiring?
Just a quick update for the board, been obviously very busy the past few weeks as we close up and get ready for the school year, but I'm happy to announce that we're in a really nice position. To begin the start of the school year, we're still looking for bus drivers. We could afford to hire 9 more to complete our runs. So we're a little short there, but Leslie, as always, has done a great job of really putting things together down there along with Margaret and the company down there. Also, we've had new teacher orientation the past 2 days, 17 new teachers that we've hired since really the end of May. And I think we've done a nice job of bringing them in. And I think we have some great teachers for the foreseeable future coming forward.
Do we need the business office to drive yet?
I would say that the assistant superintendent for business has volunteered her services in the past, as well as the assistant superintendent for personnel to learn how to drive the bus. Yes.
I'm gonna move quickly off of that to say both of you. This summer, we hosted 1, 2, 3, 4 class reunion walkthroughs. I just want to thank all of our current staff and our past staff for the impact that they've had on the school community. The fact that so many people want to come back and see the place and revisit it and relive some of their moments. And, you know, I will tell you this, one of the real kudos to our current facilities department is how incredibly well kept our buildings are. Even in the summer, when a lot of work's being done, there were so many comments about them remembering the place as being more dingy and dark. And they were just so impressed with the way that the facilities looked. And if those of you who know education know that during the summer months, those are some of our more difficult and challenging times because of all the work that's being done to prep for the upcoming school year. So kudos to that whole department for the work that they're doing and some of the really nice feedback. The as you know, information about walkthrough Sweats Fest, we already have groups that are coming in to do their reunions next year. We're already trying to book dates, so it's a really neat thing that we're able to do with our graduates, former graduates, excuse me. Opening day for staff is Tuesday. Actually, today and yesterday we welcomed our new teachers in and had new teacher orientation. Jeff Hazel, Jen Golias really did a great job of organizing 2 good days for our new incoming teachers. So I want to thank them. We have 17 new certified staff members joining us. Our first professional development day starts next week, 8 a.m. The board's always welcome to attend my opening welcome, which is at 8 o'clock in the odd. This will be the last one in that odd. Think about that, right? Opening day for students is Tuesday, September 5th, and we're certainly really excited for that. Board members, you're going to receive something after our ILT meeting tomorrow on an update in our code of conduct that has to do with the dress code. If you remember last year, we were working on that through a number of different committees. So that's going to come to you after that meeting tomorrow. I will tell you, the place is a buzz. There's a lot of work to be done to get us ready for the start of the school year, but it's really an exciting time. It is really just not near as much fun in education when kids aren't here, and it's a lot more fun when they are. Sports have started up, so once that happens, you know, you kind of turn the key, and the car's now running and moving. So I'm excited.
All right, very good. Any questions on superintendent's report? All right, if not, then anybody up nicer? We have the finance report for nicer.
We just requested to get a couple of additional quotes for cyber coverage because of the issues that some of the school districts have. I did get 2 additional quotes. One is for an additional $500,000 in aggregate coverage, which also includes $500,000 in ransom coverage for $4,345 a year. Currently, we have a $50,000 limit with a $10,000 deductible. And then the second quote I got was for $1 million aggregate coverage, which also includes $1 million in ransom coverage that additional coverage would be $7,585 a year. So I guess, I'm asking the board, if they, number one, would want to move forward with some additional coverage, which I think, the current coverage we have is okay, but knowing how cost increases have progressed the last couple of years, and the number of people that it would affect if we were in a situation such as that, I think it would behoove us to increase our coverage, for the small amount that they're charging us a year. I think it'd be worth it.
And if I can just add for the people that are in the room or maybe watching at home, the ransom coverage is really for ransomware coverage, okay? In other words, it happened to the Buffalo School District, I think 2 school years ago now, where, a company got into their software and held the ransom. They had all of their information, they shut it down, and they said, we're not opening this back up for you until you pay. And so having coverage to deal with all the things that would be impacted if that were to happen, it's pretty significant.
I mean, whatever, I think in that one, whatever you guys recommend.
What are we paying now and how much of the increase is it? Just curious.
What the payment is, you know what, I don't have that.
What's the increase? How's it?
I don't know, because I'm not paying. I know, well, the increase would be another $4,345 for $500,000 coverage and another $7,585 for $1 million extra.
So are you asking a particular number, Dan, or do you want, what do you want to do there? I think if you're comfortable, what we would do is, if you're comfortable going with up to that $7,000 amount, we want to talk to a couple other districts and just kind of find an idea of what is more anticipated as far as the cost. And I thought it was really great, you know, Allison kind of trying to get out of this. She was just at a business officials meeting and they said, in a nicer webinar, right? And they said, you know, this is one area that you really should be looking at bumping it up. I've heard that in my meetings as well.
What's the deductible on those? Is it the same?
I believe it's the same, but I'll double check.
So why don't we do this? We'll bring back the deductibles and some of those other numbers in our meeting. We just wanted to make sure that there was an
Sure.
appetite for going up with that.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it's the cost of doing business in today's world anymore.
Any items for board discussion? Any old business? Any new business?
Yeah, Steve, I'd like to ask, I
Sure.
would like Dan to see if he can check into something for us. In the last week, I've had several phone calls from parents and boosters for the wrestlers. Apparently, the wrestling match, the practice match that I'm hearing are about $14,000 or $15,000, are all ripped all around all the edges. And we have 4 teams now, 2 women and 2 men's wrestling teams. So they're really being used. And the last match we bought are for regular matches and tournaments that they don't want to use. And that was about 5 to 7 years ago. And apparently the matches, the mats they're using were donated around 16, 17 years ago from Mr. Dixon. I think he's an old wrestling coach.
Yes, he was.
Okay,
Yeah.
they were donated back then. And you know, I mean, there's nothing unhealthy about the match, but what happens when you got around the edges, when they're all cut up, because Lewiston, another school district had an issue of like diseases like ringworm and that get in there, and maybe the athletic budget, at least they're being told maybe out of money. And I'm just wondering if there's any way, Dan, to look to see if we can get 12 to 15,000 to get matched for all the kids. You know, they work hard. It's going to take time to order them and reaching. And when the boosters reached out to me, they couldn't commit about how much money they would donate, but they assured me that they would try to get some money donated to help with the cost. They just couldn't give me enough. And I hope that they were trying to research it, see what we can do for Westerners. Yeah, great, thanks, Rick. So I know, I'll talk with Matt McKenna. And then I know that this was one of the items that was on a list for renewal, right? So, this, at the end of this fiscal year, we had hoped to make some, and which we've been able to do in the past, some one-time purchases. That wasn't the case this year, just because of where our budget fell. So, what I'll do is I'll bring back all that information to our next meeting, the age of the mats, what is the cost? He might even already have a quote, just to give you an idea, and then kind of where that fits into his plan. As probably most of you remember, we didn't have a lot of areas that had any real bumps in budget. That was one of the ones that we did. And it's as things come up on replacement, that's one budget line that'll vary from year to year based on, the amount of things that we are bringing back to renewal. We try to flatten out the costs when it comes to jerseys and that sort of thing by turning over about the same amount of jerseys, each year. But those other, whether it's mats for, our track or, the helmets, or those things do fluctuate the budget costs. So I'll bring all that information to our next meeting. Okay. Yep.
Any other new business? All right, any public comments? For new hires, it's open mic night, you have 5 minutes each. Board member comments. All right then, all those in favor then, we'll call for motion to adjourn. I'm way ahead. Wow. I'll make the motion. Is there a second? Let's move in second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed or abstaining? Motion carries. We're adjourned.